today we are going to be going over a certain special individual who has fallen hardcore, and I do mean hardcore, in love with Royal Paladin. He loves the way that Royal Paladin plays. He is super comfortable with this deck. And we need to go through, he sent me screenshots of all of the decks he's comfortable with. Just fun, you just got cut with random ads. Oh no, beta, no! You can solve that by subbing. Not shameless additives there at all. But he has sent me screenshots. And like, mind you, when I say screenshots of everything, he sent me screenshots of everything. I told him to send me screenshots of every deck. Well, wait until next Saturday. Be a part of the subathon because there's going to be more rewards on Saturday for it. Like, I'm actually telling people to wait to sub until Saturday. Is that, do I go? It is going to be DragonEmperor. Beta with a sub! Oh my god! I'll get you, I will make sure that you get some of the rewards on next Saturday. That way you don't get, I don't leave you out. Wait, make sure I don't forget Beta, okay? So, I'm coming up with some things for the subathon idea. Hey, DragonEmperor, thank you for the follow. You want to follow me before? Jeez. All right. So we're gonna hop over the screen, this tab here. So he has sent me screenshots of the entire account. So I don't think a lot of these are in any real specific order. I don't think these are in any real specific order, but I asked him to send me in order, like by clan, in order of what he is most, I think on a, oh, okay. Yeah, I think you did before. I'm pretty sure you have before. But so starting off is Kagero. Now, here's the thing is that DragonEmperor, I actually looked at a couple of these Kagero cards. For one, original Dragonic Overlord is still good as a 1 or a 2 of in the deck, right? The way that I play this deck, and he's got 2 the Ace, 2 Mustafa, like 4 Root Flare, 4 Mustafa. You've got the G zone down. You play 2 the Ace, 2 Mustafa, 4 Root Flare. That's your G zone for Kagero done, because Mustafa is your first stride. Then you can go from there depending on what your hand looks like. You can either go Root Flare or the Ace. Very few times you're going to go into the Ace, but you could go into the Ace is an option, and you can do it from just being on like Blade Master. For the grade 2s, I've actually really fallen in love. Obviously, you're going to play 4 Neoflame. That's really good. But there is a Perdition grade 2. It's the one right here. Right here next to... I can't make this any bigger. Let me enlarge the display capture real quick. That way, maybe we can see things just a little bit better. So, here we go. So this grade 2 is if your opponent has no cards in the same column as this unit, it gains 3k. It's a nice 12k attacker. It is not generation break locked, so you get stuck on your the great in this case. Like if you're playing the great, which you should be if playing the great because you're wanting access to the Ace. So you play like 1 Dragonic Overlord, 4 Blade Master, and 4 the Ace, or for the great. That gives you utility. It gives you aggression. It gives you everything you need. And you've got plenty of spare rides. And then you just play the 4 heal guards. Those are your grade 3s, the grade 3/0 spots. You've got everything for the deck. 4 Neoflame. 4 of this guy is a recommendation, but it can be replaced with, like, if you'd rather play other 12k attackers, you can. Then I personally, I believe I play Bellicosity. I'll have to load up my zero account here in a minute. But like grade 1s, and like I know that you're worried about the overlap. But let's just say, like, nobody's really used Kagero on our team. Nobody has used Kagero on our team. Really. Like, it was a backup deck for me, but I have plenty of other decks I can choose from that are competitively viable enough to be playable. The only reason I haven't finished putting, like, Ezel together from the new set, like, the new Ezel together, is because I wanted to try Shadows. I've been playing Gears. I've been busy with those 2 decks. So, like, new Ezel, I haven't worried about it at all. But I can put that together, and that's a competitively viable deck. I'm probably just slightly shy of some of the Neo Nectar cards, and I have Neo Nectar crafting materials. Like, I do not care to make a new deck. I have just been playing what I've been playing because it's just a little bit easier. Like, Kagero would be an amazing choice here. Like, you've got the 4 Blade Master, you got the 4 Great, you've got the Dragonic Overlord, obviously, you play the 4 Heal Guard, you've got everything for this deck. And obviously you don't play crits in this deck build, but then obviously it's just Ezel Deck Cancer. Yes, Ezel Deck Cancer. Ezel got some nice support in this set too. I just need to craft it. I can craft 5 triple rares in golds and still be able to craft a double rare too. So I'm really considering building Ezel next. But in the deck, the grade 1 spot, and you have, like, you can deconstruct those for mats, but you've got your 10k mats. Save those for next set, because next set is going to be super expensive. And, like, you're going to want to play Alt Mile again. And Abs Mile is going to cost a lot, so. Nice enough to glitch the game sometimes. Yeah. What are we looking at? We're looking at this. So, like, and then your grade 1s, to be honest, Ezel grade 3 is only need 2. Oh yeah, the new Ezel grade 2 is like grade 3s you need 2. It's the wheels that you need. Like, wheels are really good. The GRs for Angels and Alt Mile support. Honestly, I have fallen in love with V Premium Angels more than anything. Yes, Abs Mile. Of course, the bird wants to see or responds to Abs. But your grade 1 spots for Kagero for like this build specifically is surprisingly flexible. You can still play like 2. You can still play like 2 of Grom. I still play him as like a 2 of because he's a nice countercharger. You play like this grade 1 that gains 5k power. You play 4 of that, or even you could play like 3 of that and then 4 of Lava Flow and then 4 of your PGs, and there's your 13 right there. 4 4 3 2. You have something that gains power, you have Stride Fodder, you have a Searcher for your Blade Master in case you decide that you really need that over going into like the Great, or if you're just missing your grade 3 in general since you're playing slightly less grade 3s, and obviously PGs. Like that lineup right there, you've got countercharge, you've got power gain on field, so you've got good scaling, you've got your Searcher. Nothing else. Have you ordered anything for set 4? I haven't ordered anything for set 4. I'm waiting to see. A buddy of mine has a full case coming in. I'm waiting to see what he pulls before I do that. Now, I get. So you play Alt Mile, and I see where Illumination was saying, and Illumination, for those of you guys that don't know, is another one of our team members. You kind of gave up Overdress. Overdress is fun. It's fun, more fun now than it was before. But I see where Illumination was saying with Toodaloo's. I don't know how to say his name. The double rare grade 3. But honestly, I think like higher priority should be something like getting another Alfred in there. I personally feel like it's a good thing to run it. See, am I weird for not liking Gancelot now? Like, people like playing him as a draw because he's a recurring draw trigger and he, like a grade 3 that goes back in your deck and stuff like that. But I'm not a fan of Gancelot in new decks. Like, games can go on for so long and can just drag on, and you get down to like low cards in the deck and you've got no way to put your non-triggers back in your deck. You keep recycling these Ganses, so you're drawing even more cards, which is great, right? Drawing more cards is great until you're out of cards in the deck. And especially in an Alt Mile build, you're only putting 1 card back a turn. So if I put my Gancelot back, so if I've got no more Heal Revolution, Birdo not happy, yeah, and see that's it. It's not the best option. I personally think that Alfred Exiv is a better replacement option. You can play Alfred Exiv and play your Blaster Blades. It's slightly more counterblast heavy, but you've got Fragment. You've got Knight of Fragment. and it becomes a viable rear guard option. You've got your twin swords in case you're on your generation break. If you have already used Alt Mile a couple of times and you have a couple of counterblast open and you just need more things on the field, Alfred can plus you more. Also, the ability to just Legion and throw your cards back in the deck. Let's say you're down to like 2 or 3 cards left in the deck. Using Alt Mile might not be your best option because you're going to use Alt Mile and you're going to put 1 grade 2 back to the deck. But in order to do it, you have to stride, so you're drawing extra card. So you're at 3 cards left in your deck at the end of the turn, and you draw. And this has happened to me before, mind you. Like, I've been playing casually and like playing on my phone and like in passing, right? You get down to like 3 cards left in your deck and you draw into a card and you've got Alfred in your hand and Alt Mile on the Vanguard Circle. Which one are you going into? Am I going to discard and stride? I'm going to draw a card, go down to 2. Then I'm going to stride, which is going to draw me to 1, but Alt Mile is going to put 1 more back in the deck. I have 2 cards left in the deck. I'm going to do 3 trigger checks. And let's say even if I'm playing Gancelot, and I use Gancelot's skill to grab the Blaster Blade, that's the 1 Blaster Blade left in my deck that I just put back with the Alt Mile. Now I'm guaranteed to lose. I feel like it's too much of a deck out option. I'd much rather have a alternative right target, something that puts more cards back in the deck for the late game up options, because late game is something that actually does happen in Zero now. Because before, long games would be like 15, 20 minutes at most. Now long games can last like 30, 40 minutes sometimes. Not a lot of times, but it can happen. So I personally really do like the Alfred option in an Alt Mile build as a secondary ride target. Just not crits in an Alt Mile build, because Alt Mile focuses more on the superior calling, like in the battle phase and stuff like that, with the Knight of Twin Swords. So you need to have you need to have other like alternative ride targets that are still good and that add cards back to your deck, because the only time you're going into these alternative ride targets are in the late game when you have exhausted all of your other options. Your Alt Mile isn't doing it. You've already used your Saint Blow. If you only got like you don't have your strides here for Royals. That might be later on down the line. Did you send it later on down the line? Hold on. That's for Shadows. Where are the strides for Royals? That's the strides for Shadows again. Where are the strides for Royals? These are golds. And golds, Ezel or Liberators actually works really well. You only got one of the Ezel stride though, so it's kind of meh. I'm going to look through and see first. Also, Link Choker is a good option for like Starvader, because most people don't expect, I know he has 4 Saint Blow, but if you like, there are times where you can run into like, if you run against Bermuda Triangle with a Royal Paladin, you definitely run into this problem where like they're gonna get their PGs and heal guards back. So Saint Blow doesn't really do much for you there. All right, let's see here. Okay, strides here. You've got the I'm gonna get, okay, you got an SP Saint Blow. Nice. So honestly, with this, what I do, and because you're running the Alfred, I would run I don't even know. I'd say for the G zone, if you're going to run the Alfred option and you're going to do the backup secondary ride with Alfred, play Maju. Maju is going to get you another Alfred and continue to allow you to recycle cards back into the deck, right? And it's going to pull that draw out of your deck, so you're less likely to deck out by drawing too much. So like that's an after you're out, like you go into Alfred and you try to survive the turn, you put heal triggers back in the deck, you're back to your turn. What are you going to do? You could stride into Maju. Or if you even got stuck on Alfred before you could ride your Alt Mile, now you got to figure something else out. You Legion, then you stride to Maju, you add an Alfred exit back to your hand, and you go over again. I do strongly recommend playing that. All the GRs I have that are usable, I have an SP copy, don't ask me how. That's good luck though, right? That's good luck though. So the G zone is definitely 4 Saint Blow, 1 Maju, I'd say Samuel is a good option. Gobblade's a good option. And then the 1 harmonics for the Link Joker matchup. Just for the Link Joker matchup. So that would be like a good G zone. So like 1, 1, 4. Oh yeah, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4. That's all 8 right there. You have your Gobblade option. So like on hit, never ask for an SC Saint Blow. See, you don't ask for things. You just receive them. See, it's as simple as that. So, okay. As I said, I still recommend 4 Saint Blow, 1 Gobblade, 1 Samuel. Okay, I'll wait until you get done. This is why I was suggesting okay, you're back. So, SP Olivia was fucking sweet. Nice. Nice. You built one? Okay. Okay. So 4 Saint Blow, 1 Gobblade, 1 Samuel, 1 Maju, the Cray Elemental one right here. You've got 4 of it, play 1 of it. Because it's going to allow you to recycle into your Alfred. And since you have a secondary ride target, there are going to be games where you're stuck on him. So you play 1 of this, and you play 1 of the harmonics, because the Link Joker matchup will kick your ass if you get stuck, especially if you get stuck on Alfred. So you guys, an SP Ace to Rubbin Z minus, damn. That's what I would suggest for Royals. I would suggest maybe playing maybe play 2 of the Gancelot, okay? 2 Gancelot I don't think would hurt too much. So like cutting the crits out and playing 2 Gancelot is an option. And then you have the harmonics for the Link Joker matchup. You like that is probably your best option. And you want to save the harmonics until you know that you can finish it with what's on the field, right? If you think you can survive, do craft that 3rd Alfred. See, even if you do, you're still missing a spot. So you still have to play 1 of the Gancelots. So I'd say honestly, no, because you have to do 3. Because it's a 4, 3, 2, 4. Where your Royal Paladin? You've got 5 triple rare mats. You can craft 5 trips. And we still have half of the month left. And if you're doing both Aichi and Shion, yeah, 4 GRs for Angels. Yeah, that is going to hurt. I'm not going to lie. That's going to hurt. Honestly, if you're doing both Aichi and Shion fights, and you're just doing, 10 fights on, 10 fights on, Royal Paladins a day, you're getting a 10th of a triple rare every day. Benazol, if you crafted an Alfred, you can still craft 4 Benazol. And like SPs are nice, but they're not needed. You needed a deck to be functional before you could bling it out. That's the first thing. You want it to be functional before you bling it out. Also, don't forget you can use those spare keys that you get. So like if you're doing Shion and Chrono every single day, you use the keys, the spare keys, because you're going to run over eventually. You use those spare keys and you get more mats. You can get more triple rares, you can get more double rare, you can get more single rare, you can get more common mats. Actually, that's one of the ways you can farm GR mats, I guess, is use all of those spare keys, throw them into common crafting mats, and then convert the common crafting mats over to GR mats. It's an idea. The conversion rate sucks ass, but you can do it. But yeah, I would strongly recommend the 3rd Alfred Exiv, and because you're going to be playing 4 Blast Blade anyways, you can definitely play the 2 Gancelot. And that way you do have the trigger that goes back to the deck, and it gets you something more useful for in that case. And that way you still have your backup ride. You still have everything else. So other than that, I can't really say much more about Royals. Like, you already have a good idea about what to do. Because here's the thing that sucks is that by using Gancelot or using Alfred Exiv, you cut out the ability to use Blaster Blade Spirit, right? You cut that ability out entirely because you now need those spots that Blaster Blade Spirit was taking up for Blaster Blades. That's the part that sucks hard. By playing either of them. And Blaster Blade is just like Counterblast 2 for a retire. It's just but it is definitely an option there. I'm trying to think about Royal Paladin options that could fit in here as well. Because like you're focusing on grade 2, so like Palamedes wouldn't be a great idea. Blaster Blade Seeker is just not needed. Because Alfred Legions with a regular Blaster Blade, and then that way you can use your Gancelot options as well. I don't think there's anything else. Now, for gears are relatively simple to build. 4 Chrono Jet, 3 Puzurili, 2 crit. Trigger. Gears is one of those decks that you can use crits. Okay, you crafted them. Awesome. So give that a try on Royals. Now, that's for now, and then you might have to prove that, you know, you can actually win with that list on Royals, but you just gotta kind of prove that, and then maybe he'll lift the ban on it, but you've got to prove that you can win against competitive lists with that build. Like, prove it by playing against Tetra and or Illumination. So, knowing your matchups is the key here, right? So, for gears, easy. This is almost easy. I say almost easy because different people have like different builds for this, for the G zone and gears. I'm partial to 4 Ragnarok, 1 Epoch Maker, or maybe two. Like 2 is okay. 1 is acceptable. 2 is probably really good, to be honest, because there are some times where you need a second one, and it gets you a grade 2 out if you have a grade 1 in your hand. So not terrible. You play 1 Upheaval Pegasus because it gets around the resist units. And then at that point, you've only got like 1 space left over. You can either go for the on hit bound something, and that last spot is a flex spot that really it just depends on the meta. Like right now, Mystery Flare is just too iffy to be playing that. The on hit is good. So you could play Chronos Command, but Chronos Command is a heavy cost associated. You don't really want a command because you have Epoch Maker instead. Or not Epoch Maker, Upheaval Pegasus instead. So, I mean, well, I guess technically you have Upheaval Pegasus, but because it's a little bit different, it works a little different. It just kind of meh. I'm not a fan of Chronos Command, especially not in this meta, because most of the time when you're playing against a deck, you really like him, you can play him. It is up to you. But you see, most of the time, you're going to be playing against decks that do not care about their grade 1s, that don't care if their grade 1s are out. That's why people in like Kagero, I tell you to play 12k attackers that will gain that 3k regardless, because they can attack Vanguard without needing a boost. But no, like honestly, just play what you want to play. Like that last spot is a flex spot entirely. You can put that SP Chronos command in there and just flex. Like that's not a problem. You run 1 command. See, there's nothing wrong with running command. Like I don't think it's a bad card. I'm just not, it's not like the card that I'm reaching for in my G zone first. You know, I'd rather go into Fate Rider first or Upheaval Pegasus first. Like Chronos command is like, best case scenario, Chronos command is like my opponent has 2 damage, 1 or 2 like 2 or 3 cards in hand, and they don't have grade 2s on field. Don't really use it, but it's there. Like that's the one situation where you use it, because you get rid of an entire field and you're almost guaranteed you're gonna hit, even if you pull a crit, because your opponent's at such low damage, and then they can't build their field because they only got like 2 cards. Yeah, no, Chronos command is definitely a one of at most. Like at most, you play 1 Chronos command, but it's guaranteed you at least need Upheaval Pegasus, 4 Ragnarok, and then 1 to 2 Fate Rider. After that, you can do like 1 Chronos command. If you decide to only do 1 Fate Rider, I'd say at least try Epoch Maker, because it does have a use, right? It does have a use. You do have situations where that extra attack that Epoch Maker can grab you will be good. Well, 1 command and 1 horse. Yeah. Think you want to play the Delaware one? Not Meme Flare? Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. Upheaval Pegasus is a one of. Fate Rider is at least 1 because it's counter for this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You definitely want one Upheaval Pegasus, which is the double rare. So one Pegasus, one Fate Rider, 4 Ragnarok since you have it, and that puts you at 6. You have 2 spots. Cronus Command makes 7, and then that 8th spot, you can either play Epoch Maker or play another second Fate Rider. Like the G Zone kind of builds itself, but it also has like flexibility spots. If you're noticing it's more beneficial to have a no cost thing that bounces one thing back to the bottom of the deck, you can switch the Cronus Command over for the on hit. I noticed myself playing against more of those in ranked and like even more so like in ladder or in like competitive events. You're gonna run into more of those. So that's what I would recommend at least. For shadows, I am gonna be honest, and this is gonna sound, it's not gonna sound harsh. I'm gonna guarantee you this. It's not gonna sound harsh. Don't play shadows unless you want to use those GR crafting mats to get an Aura Geyser and a Diablo. Don't play shadows. You do not have the strides for it. Aura Geyser and Diablo are your backup options. Your main ride in Shadows for Revenge, like the Revengers build, which is the main build, is Abyss. You go for Abyss. You go straight into Abyss. It's like it's 4 Abyss, 4 Mordred, and then like that last spot is a flex spot. You can play. I've seen most people play Drag Ruler. Some people play like Cormac in there. I personally play Blaster Doc Diablo. Clara's Sword is OTT but Shadows? Exactly. Clara's Sword is bad though, isn't it? Yeah, OTT is bad. Correction. OTT that isn't Tsukiyomi is bad. But in my, like, in the way that I've noticed is that, like, see for Clara? Yeah. But, you know, like, I mean, guess it's strong though? Is it strong now or was it strong when it came out? I have not seen a single person playing Magus at all. But you have the main deck. And I personally, like, my grade 2 lineup is a kind of weird, I think. I play 2 or 3 of the new Maka because it's like 4 Abyss, 4 or 3 Abyss, 3 BDRA, 4 BDR. Then I play 4 Tartu and then 2 of the Maka. Because the Maka is actually like surprisingly really good for multi-attacking. And if you bring out Sword Breakers with your starter, because you're still gonna run the Revenger starter, because it's just really good still. Because you go your grade 3s are going, or even your strides are gonna have that skill, that on hit is gonna trigger. But let's say you have those Sword Breakers out, you can swing with the Sword Breaker boosted by a Sword Breaker, or like even just swinging for swinging's sake, and then you can use the Maka to get out things like your Doran, or I play Darkbond Trumpeter still. Both valid enough options. But that's, yeah, I don't recommend you playing Shadows unless you want to use your GR mats on Shadows. Because the G Zone is actually really important in making sure that the deck has more options. Because before it was BDR, Phantom Blaster Abyss or Bust, and now it's like, okay, well, I can Phantom Blaster Abyss, or I can go into Diablo, or I can go into Aura Geyser. I actually just go straight into Aura Geyser first, get your 2 cards and done. Maybe Jet, probably Altmile. Yeah, like you could do Jet and Altmile. For golds, gonna be 100% with you. Golds, I feel like are gonna be like, could be really good. But I do definitely believe even if you use GR match wouldn't be complete. Yeah, it wouldn't be complete anyways. For golds, I'd say just building Ezel would be fine, but then you need strides, and you only have one of the Ezel stride, which I believe Ezel stride is a persona flip, so that wouldn't work out very well, right? And like You've got the triple rare, which is good, but you would need one more of the Ezreal Stride, and that just wouldn't work out too well. Of course, the deck doesn't. I don't believe the deck revolves around it. I haven't played Ezreal, the new build for Ezreal yet. I haven't tested it out yet. As I said, I started to craft the pulls. I have the mats. I just haven't crafted them yet. And I don't, because I think I have 2 of the Mithril Ezreal, but that's just me. I wouldn't recommend playing golds either unless you had that. You ready for Holy Seraph, Raphael, Make Angels, just go re. You right? Link Joker, I'm gonna be honest. I know a lot of people are on like the Messiah train right now. Like Starvaders are good still. I know that for a fact. Obviously into leaders, but you've got most of the pre-G stuff. It looks like you've got most of the pre-G stuff. Everything before G. I think like Chaos Breaker made a resurgence, right? Like he's a good like he was a good grade 3 again. 2 grade 2s, grade 3s. Do you have any? Okay. You've got most of the main deck stuff. But you're missing the big crunches. So like Messiah, like even Messiahs wouldn't be possible without the big crunches. Like big crunch is so necessary for the deck. Which I mean, if you want hints about how to play Messiahs, just watch Different Fights video. He summarizes it very well. I watched that a while ago when he released that about 2 months. Was it last month or the month before? But yeah, Link Joker I wouldn't recommend unless you have at least 2 big crunch. You know how good that card is. I trust. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend Link Joker at all then. Oh, make your Messiah one day. We'll get there one day. Just keep at it. Oh, by the way, those of you in the chat who haven't yet, you should, or even if you're not in the chat and you're just viewing and saying hi or not and just looking at me like I'm a weirdo, because I am a weirdo. Drop a follow and go check me out on YouTube. I know mostly do Honkai and Genshin now. Haven't really done a lot of Zero on stream stuff, so like it's kind of nice to be going over Zero again. I've taken like 2 months off of it. It's been like 2 months since I played it on stream. Let's see here. So in Narukami, there's a build that I want to see if you can do it. Essential the Weirdo. Yep. Yeah, screwed you earlier. Yeah, that 6 damage heal though. I still need to go back and watch that video to see what exactly happened. For one in Narukami, you play. I prefer a more aggressive playstyle with Narukami, where like you play the intercept deniers and you obviously play Garudas because it's a counter charge. Like Chatara's good. A lot of people play the resist guy just because it's a 9k that resists. But the build that I want to see, you could do the Vermilion build. So the way the Vermilion build works is 4 of the Legion, 4 of normal Vermilion, if I remember correctly, and then 1 of Vanquisher, and then you put your 4 heals. And your main ride target is going into the Legion for Vermilion, because that's just good. It's just a free front row attack is good. And then so like honestly, like that doesn't even matter. But the strides, you've got everything. You've got everything in that case. You could go could you go the Brawlers route? Wait a second. Could you go the Brawlers route? You can't even go the Brawlers route. No, you'd have to go straight for Vermilion, which is fine. Vermilion is a good deck. But that's pretty much it from what you sent me. But yeah. I would recommend trying the Vermilion build out. That way you don't have to worry. Like the good thing about the Vermilion build is it does the exact opposite of what you want the Alt-Mile build to do, where you stop worrying about your rear guards as much. Like they're nice to have, and you have a resist, and you can you have the resist units, and you can go from there. Like It's not bad to do the Vermilion build in that. Just get Narukami nerfed so hard. We don't need Narukami nerfed. It's a good build, but it's not like it's tier 1, but there are a couple of tier 1 decks right now.